There's a few things that we're going to take a look at quick. I think one is, what does the process look like to create a new agent? Just like I mentioned, we want to make it as simple as possible for people to just kind of describe what's the work that they want to accomplish. Start with a problem statement, and our agent builder will help, kind of ask all the right questions, really understand a lot of the source material that you might have. So you can upload things like extracts of your data sets, a PDF or Word document of your kind of standard operating procedure for that specific use case. And in this case, we want to build a receipt reconciliation agent, one that's going to take extracts from our SAP ERP, in addition to extracts from different transport systems, and reconcile them together. This is a complex month-end manual process that for one of our customers took, their analysts a few hours to do every single month for every facility that they had. And so our agent really deeply understands and reads that standard operating procedure, highlights specific gaps in understanding, and presents that to you. So it can say, hey, look, this is what I understood from data. This is what I understood from your process. Now, here are a few things that I need some clarification on. We really try to make sure that we deeply understand, how you've defined that work. And we ask intelligent questions to make sure the agent has exactly what it needs to be able to perform that work. So there's a few rounds of different kind of back and forth until the agent gets to the point where it has a really solid understanding for exactly what you want to do. And you can type this in. There's also a voice to text. You can click the little microphone and you can, speak to it as far as if you want to describe your business process or answer specific questions. And once the agent has everything that it needs, then we can kind of get down to building that out, right? And one of the key things that our agent builder really does is try to kind of work out what's the type of agent that you should build. We have two. We have conversational agents that are more kind of interactive assistants, and worker agents that are triggered by different operations. Both are powered by, as you see here, our natural language runbook. And our agent builder really does the heavy lift of trying to articulate and outline, what that runbook should look like, what it should be named, and then a conversation guide to help new users start to really understanding exactly how that agent should be worked with. And when you're done, you can just hit deploy agent. Our semantic data models are really how we connect to and deeply understand the data that you have. The business description, things like synonyms, sample data, these are all things that we automatically generate for you so that when you're working with the agent, you can simply use natural language. It'll understand how to query, it'll understand how to join that data together without you having to write any SQL or Python. So now we can just upload some data and have the agent kind of walk through and articulate, hey, how do you understand the process that you need to walk through? So this is just an example of how the agent internalizes the runbook, uses our semantic data models to outline this is exactly the work that will be done, right? Based on the SOP documents and data that you uploaded. So it's a really quick and easy way to help you kind of build your first agent. What I also want to show you is some examples of more operational use cases, things that require being able to be triggered by a ServiceNow, ticket arriving or an email arriving or data landing, and things like SharePoint or S3. And these are our worker agents. And our worker agents are really focused on, like I said, kind of high throughput work. They're still powered by and they use runbooks to really kind of guide exactly what the agent should do over time. But they also provide, like I said, kind of triggered execution. In this case, invoice comes in, it's going to walk through a complicated, set of steps to identify, what exceptions are potentially found in this invoice. A lot of the work that our agents do is really focus on, what's the kind of like the hard human work that you have to do? What are the judgment calls? How do you combine the data, process business rules, and really look for issues and challenges? Like we had mentioned before, whenever we're doing any kind of complex calculations, we want to make sure that we have 100% accuracy with the calculations that we perform. And that's really where our data frames technology comes in. Any of the responses to specific queries that we run or natural language questions that are asked, they get brought back in our data frames. And our data frames, like I said, are kind of an in-memory representation of what that data looks like, allowing the agent to be able to sort, filter, search, and work with data and do those mathematical calculations with 100% accuracy. So this is really how we make sure that we get the kind of auditability and financial accuracy that's required for us to be able to do some of the hardest use cases that our customers bring to us.